and salvia. Butterflies are attracted to red, orange, and yellow flowers, and they tend to go towards open blooms. Try butterfly bush, cornflowers, zinnias, and black-eyed Susans. For your nighttime pollinators, moths and bats, they will need the blooms that come out at night. Try wild honeysuckle, pinks, evening primroses, clematis, and flowering tobacco. Bees are extremely versatile and varied, so there's plenty to choose from. Fruit trees and berry bushes are a great start. They also love different types of culinary herbs. Coneflower, nasturtiums, and sunflowers are other edibles to plant. Providing fresh water is important too. Something as simple as a bird bath or a nearby stream or garden pond. I'm Kathy Isom, Southeast AgNet.
When it really counts, depend on the source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
We'll have a nice day with clouds and sunshine. High today 87 to 90, then becoming mainly clear this evening, low 72 to 75. Expect showers by tomorrow afternoon. Saturday will be partly sunny with a passing shower in the afternoon and a high of 84 to 88. Partly sunny Sunday, high 85 to 87. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
Fine Arts of Ocala's 54th Art Festival is back. Mark your calendar for October 23rd to 24th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. 151 artists from around the country will compete for $27,000 in awards. Enjoy live music on 2 stages, chairs for relaxing, food trucks, children's activities presented by the Appleton Museum, and so much more. And it's all free. Admission, parking, children's art projects, and live entertainment. Fine Arts for Ocala, and a fun outing for the entire family. Don't miss out. Again, that's October 23rd to 24th from 10 to 5 each day. Presenting sponsor, Palm Chevrolet. This is Ocala Talks with Tom Schmidt, bringing stories that are important to our community in and around Ocala. Plus, of course, a splash of sports as well. Now, here's your host, Tom.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks. Usually at this time you would hear dumb crook news, but that's been preempted today because your host has decided that there's something much more important. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Walt Disney World. Happy birthday to you. Walt Disney World opened on this date, October 1 of 1971. There are 3 people in the studio now. Susan Schmitz is on the microphone with us. Kevin Stone sitting in the green room waiting for What's the Line to come on. And Tom Schmitz. Only one of us was born when Disney World opened, and it ain't you two.
Well, only one of us.
Fiver.
Only one of us also has an AARP card, and it's not neither one of us.
By the way, that is an outright lie. That is an outright lie. I don't have anything to do with, associated with, or want any part of the left-leaning craziness of AARP. So let's clear that up.
Okay, well, how about this?
I'm eligible.
There's only one of us.
But I'm not a card-toting AARP.
There's only one of us that can purchase a home in the Villages.
100%. 100%. Hey, you like that discount when we go to Starbucks. That discount gives me $1.20 off at the buffets. And if I go to eat at 3:30 in the afternoon, I can get a lot of discounts.
We are becoming those people.
But you know, when you go to eat at 3:30 in the afternoon, don't you have to go to bed? Isn't it a law that you have to be in bed by 7:30? Isn't that a law? that I think. And you're up at 3:30. The reason you eat dinner at 3:30 in the afternoon is you ate breakfast at 3:30 in the morning. What the hell do they do from 3:30 till the sun comes up? Okay, watch infomercials. That's what they do. Or, you know, some minute thing on the History Channel. It's all you can watch.
Well, Poppy is all about YouTube right now.
Yeah. I'm going to send him a couple YouTube channels. I'll send Poppy down a wormhole. Send him down a wormhole. October 1st, 1971, the Magic Kingdom opens with a parade that swept across Main Street in spectacular fashion. Favorite storybook characters from the Seven Dwarfs to Dumbo to Mickey Mouse himself join the thousands of parade entertainers strutting before opening crowds. That's a big day. It's a big day for The Orlando area, it was the death knell for amusement parks as we know them in the Ocala area. The opening of Disney World in October of '71, I firmly believe, led to the closing of Six Gun Territory in the mid '80s, and led to the state-owned Silver Springs attraction being the shell of itself that it was in its heyday in the 50s and 60s. Disney, the Silver Springs and Six Gun Territory closing and not being but a shell of itself, Silver Springs, is directly related. I blame that directly on Disney, the corporation, because I don't like the corporation of Disney. I love the amusement park of Disney. Tom, how can you do like one and not the other? Because I make the rules.
So
That's out.
When the
I make the rules.
When the Magic Kingdom opened,
1971, October 1st.
how much land did they own that was undeveloped?
All of it,
So
except for the Magic Kingdom. He bought all the land that Disney sits on. Walt Disney, because he had been met with different people not wanting him to buy, to create Disney World. He literally sent in. He paid people to come in. He gave them the money. They bought it up under different businesses, and a lot of them were Native Americans. Mm-hmm. Bought the land so that the Orange Grove owners and all were none the wiser. And he bought up what is now Walt Disney World Resort.
What is it? 10,000 acres?
No, it's much bigger than that. It's much bigger than that. I'll look here. I'll ask Google right here.
We looked it up a while ago when we went to the. Where did we go? That where we were up on the tower.
We were at the Citrus Tower.
Citrus Tower, yeah. Or maybe we looked it up when we were driving around there in Orlando.
Yeah, we looked it up. I know we looked it up recently.
Like this.
It's 27,180 acres.
Okay. And he bought it with his vision. He bought it all up because he knew what he had today wasn't going to be what he was going to have tomorrow.
Certainly. It's 42.47 square miles. Can that be right? Yeah, it says 42.47 square miles.
It's on the internet. It has to be right.
It was founded in 1965 in Bay Lake, Florida. Disney Parks Experience and Products are the parent organization. Reedy Creek is the name of the area. The Reedy Creek Fire Department is what Disney's own fire department that services the area. So, he knew what he was doing. Mm-hmm. He wanted to make an experience. And the Magic Kingdom, yes, Epcot's there and Hollywood Studios there and Animal Kingdom's there, and they all have their own uniqueness, but there's nothing like the Magic Kingdom. There's just not, because you're able to, even as an adult, you're able to immediately go back to your childhood. And it's not a bad thing to be in touch with your childhood, by the way, because when you think about the best times of your life, most people will tell you it was times in their childhood because we didn't have any cares. We didn't have any responsibility. We didn't care about who was earning money. We weren't. We were riding our bicycles. We were going to see Mickey Mouse, get his little autograph on this stupid little book that was useless because some girl dressed up as Mickey Mouse, the one that signed it. Mickey Mouse didn't sign it. By the way, because Mickey Mouse is 5'2", almost everybody that's been Mickey Mouse has been a girl, by the way. People didn't know that. And there's only been up until 2015, there'd only been one girl to play Goofy because you got to be 6'2" or taller to play Goofy. So, there's different things about that. And you don't want to be in those outfits. Ooh, you know how hot. The one thing I never got to do, though? Work at Disney. And I tried. 1991, I tried to do the student exchange. Georgia Southern, they came to Georgia Southern to hire summer students. You know why I couldn't get one?
Tell me.
Tattoo.
Oh.
I've since faded out, but I have my fraternity tattoo on my calf. Yeah, it faded out. It's gone. It was cheap red ink, and it was, don't get me started on why it's gone.
I was going to say, I've never seen a tattoo on your legs. I'm like, am I missing something?
It lasted about 8 years, and it just was gone. It was cheap red ink that didn't set real well. The guy that did the tattoo artist that did it in Statesboro, Ended up going bankrupt. People still are looking for him, wanting to.
You think?
They paid hundreds and hundreds of dollars for tattoos that are now just shades and everything because he was using terrible ink and everything. So, but anyway, they wouldn't hire me because I had a tattoo on my calf. And now they let you cover up tattoos, but they wouldn't then. Even if you're wearing an area where you're wearing long pants, nope, can't do it. So,
But let's be honest.
it'd have been great. I'd have made a career out of it.
Really? Because you
First
around
off,
children
No,
crying?
it wouldn't have been around children. I applied to work at Epcot, and because I had my restaurant and bar experience, bartender. I have a very good friend of mine, Suzanne, that tends bar at. The last time I talked to her was 2.5 years ago. She was tending bar at Riverside in the French Quarter, one of the resorts at Disney.
Mm-hmm.
She was tending bar at Riverside, the main bar at Riverside. I asked Suzanne, I go, Suzanne, you've been here 18 years. What's about it? She goes, $123,000 last year. She made $123,000 as a bartender at Disney. That's a career. So, yeah, if they'd have hired me, I'd still be working at Disney. So lucky for you, Disney didn't hire me. Or lucky for me, Disney. It's one of those. A very big thing, though, that happened for Disney a few years later, December 15th, 1973, they didn't know at the time the money-making adventure it would end up being. They already had one in Disneyland, but on December 15th, 1973, Disney's best movie-making franchise opened as a ride at Walt Disney World Resort. Pirates of the Caribbean opened December 15th, 1973. Why is that important? One, because of all the money they made with the franchise of the movie. Two, because in my estimation, it's the best ride at Walt Disney World. I love that ride.
And the
It's
greatest
my favorite
year.
ride.
And the greatest year.
1973, because it was the year you were born.
Yes.
Yeah. Although I do not like the new changes to the ride. They no longer have the auction block where they're selling the, before they had the auction block where the pirates had captured women and they were selling them on the auction block. And then there was the heavy girl they were trying to sell, and they were calling out for bids on her, and all the pirates were going, "Bring on the redhead! Bring on the redhead!" Because there was a good-looking, buxom redhead behind her. Disney took that out. Something about it sexist. I don't know. Because pirates weren't sexist. There you go. Corporation Disney trying to change history. Newsflash, pirates were sexist. Newsflash. Just like Abraham Lincoln was racist. Newsflash, pirates were sexist. But it opened in 1973. A couple other things that opened at Disney that are of importance. June 11th, 1977. June 11th, 1977 saw the first ever Main Street Electrical Parade take to Main Street, USA. At the time, thought to be a spectacular display of technology, as hundreds and hundreds of thousands of lights lit up the floats that would go down, playing what at the time was considered technological music. Techno music. The Main Street Electrical Parade, if you've never seen the Main Street Electrical Parade, you don't know what you're missing. It's amazing. Then they do the one out in the water, the electrical parade out in the water and everything. But that happened on June 11th, 1977. November 18th, 1978, very important day, as the greatest character, in my estimation, in cartoon history, celebrated his 50th birthday. Mickey Mouse turned 50 in 1978. And if you don't like Mickey Mouse, that's a you problem, not a me problem. Because there he is right there. If you're not seeing on YouTube, he's on my wrist. I got a soft spot for Mickey Mouse, I'm telling you. December 16th, the very first Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party took place on December 16th, 1983. Also in 1980, I forgot 1980, one of my favorite rides, Big Thunder Mountain opened in 1980. Runaway Train. 1980, to give you another option besides Space Mountain. Yeah, they're changing it. They're changing the Splash Mountain from Song of the South to the Prince and the Frog, but the Thunder Mountain will remain the same. 1983 also saw the opening of Epcot. Pull up. Was it 1983? I don't see it right here. But yeah, it was the opening of Epcot. Also, Donald Duck's 50th birthday was May of 1984. So a lot of history. October 1st, 1986, Disney's 15th birthday party begins with the world's largest press party featuring entertainers Dolly Parton, the Monkees, Air Supply, and Ray Charles. There's a blast from the past, isn't it? That was when Disney World turned 15 years old. So I'm a big fan of Disney. It's not a fact that people don't know, but it's a place that let kids and adults get back in touch with their childhood. And that's that was what was so good to me about Six Gun Territory. And a lot of people say Disney was the death knell for Six Gun Territory. Here's another take on that maybe the fact that America fell out of love with the Westerns in about 1968 or 69 has something to do with Six Gun Territory going away. Maybe the fact that we went to edgier movies like Harry Callahan and Death Wish and, Taxi Driver and stuff like that. Maybe the Western had fell out of favor. There were no more Westerns on TV anymore. The Westerns on TV were called Dallas. It was about an oil bearing company in Texas. So maybe that had something to do with the downfall of Six Gun Territory instead of Walt Disney World Resort. Although Walt Disney World Resort and Frontierland for a time had the same kind of shootouts that they had at Six Gun Territory.
Well, how often do they refresh their program at Six Gun Territory? Because you and I just watched Deadwood and we were in love with it. We binged it.
Deadwood would never have played at Six Gun Territory. They weren't those kind of can girls.
No. I'm just saying, but that was like a Western.
Yes, but this was more along the lines of the golden age of Hollywood's Westerns with the good guys, bad guys always lose.
Which is
good
why
guys
I'm
get the
saying,
women.
How much did they refresh their program to modernize it?
Well, it closed in 1986.
So, well, if they didn't refresh it, that's probably a part of the issue. You have to keep looking at.
Well, there wasn't things like Deadwood and all at the time. There were no Westerns at all. The Westerns hadn't evolved. They were the same Westerns. People were still in love with John Wayne. Remember The Shootist came out in 1985, his last movie. People were still in love with John Wayne as the golden era of Westerns. They still, the Cartwrights still hold a special place in people's hearts and stuff like that. The Westerns had not evolved like they did with Unforgiven and, True Grit, it was in the 60s. Then the remake was in the 2000s. But, the Western has come with Dances with Wolves and Unforgiven. The Western has taken on a more edgy. What was the movie where Leonardo DiCaprio he's out west and he gets mauled by a bear and everything? Westerns have taken on a more edginess than they did in the golden era of Westerns when good guy versus bad guy loses, good guy wins and gets the lady.
Well, I mean, I think that's my point with the
Six Gun Territory.
Six Gun Territory is that if they weren't looking to evolve their program, if they had the mindset, well, it's been working for the last 20 years, why do we have to change it? Well, that's why you're closed.
Send all email to susan@somewhere.com, okay? This is Susan's take.
I mean, look at how much Walt Disney.
How many people right now in Ocala are going, that's because she ain't from here. She don't know what she's talking about. And you're right. She's not from around here.
But I'm making a point. I mean,
a lot of people flock every year to the Kirby family farm to go to the Six Gun Territory reunion. Thousands every year go to the Kirby farm and I believe if Six Gun Territory opened back up, thousands would flock to it just to get in touch again with what they remember their childhood as. Mm-hmm. I think it would do very. Look, they got one called Tweetsie Railroad, which was a sister of Six Gun Territory. It still opens and has massive audiences that go to it every day up in Blowing Rock, North Carolina. So there's still some of those places like that, but
if you look at Walt Disney, they always are looking at more
always
expand, always creative. They have one of the best programs just on litter, and you're on a litter committee.
Yep.
Walt Disney, of course, there's children there, so they have cameras everywhere.
Right.
Everywhere. They studied film footage and found out that people will hold a piece of trash in their hand
about 30 feet.
25 feet.
Yeah, I know it's somewhere, yeah.
So every 25 foot, there's a trash can.
Right.
That is how in tune they are, how in touch they are with growth and with changes and also with betterment of themselves.
And Walt Disney did not want to, he didn't think that your experience should see people pushing garbage through the park.
Right.
So everywhere in the park, there are little trap doors that you don't know about, but the garbage personnel do, that they go down a side road and they open the thing and it goes sucked into a vacuum. So they don't ever have to push trash through the park. Here's another thing he did. He didn't want, because it happened in Disneyland because of the real estate of it, where you would see a cowboy from Frontierland walking through Tomorrowland. Well, what the hell's a cowboy doing in Tomorrowland? It's supposed to be a space thing. So he alleviated that by building the 2-story Disney World. The Magic Kingdom's 2-story. The outside area is the second floor. The inside area, the tunnel area and all, that's the first floor. Disney's 2-story. The actual outside is the second floor, and they did that on purpose so that people could get to their different lands without walking into a land and spoiling the experience. Because you don't want to see a damn cowboy in Tomorrowland.
No, you don't.
You don't want to see somebody in a spacesuit walking next to the Swiss Family Treehouse.
And if you want to talk about, and I know you told somebody on the radio the other day about my Six Sigma black belt, which is about process improvements. It's about taking something and no matter what it is, how do you make it better?
So it's not a karate thing.
It's not a karate thing.
Okay. See.
Yeah, you're safe.
I'm safe.
Walt Disney has one of the best models for process improvement programs, hands down.
Let me tell you, I don't like the corporation of Walt Disney because of the political stance they take. But as far as a way to run a business, employee-wise and everything, there's a reason Disney offers the Disney University experience where they bring big corporations and businesses in to teach them the process of how Disney does it. Down to the point where nobody points at Disney. Pointing is rude. Walt Disney always was told, he was brought up, pointing is rude.
You do your hand.
So they either use their full hand or 2 fingers. They do not use a single index finger pointing because Walt Disney's mother instilled in him that pointing was rude. Now remember, this is a man that was born, people don't know where Walt Disney was born. You know where he was born?
Detroit? Jacksonville.
Chicago, Illinois.
Chicago, Illinois.
Grew up in St. Louis, but was born in Chicago. So he was a man with Midwestern ideals.
A lot of smart people from Chicago.
And then there's the Daley family.
Stop.
And the Obama family.
The Daley
and the Rahm Emanuel family.
I remember Mayor Richard Daley coming on the news just before a Y2K scare and all this water. Everyone's buying water. And he's like, folks, we live next to a lake. You're going to be all right.
A freshwater lake, by the way.
You're going to be all right.
And
he just leaves the news.
The second largest freshwater lake in the Great Lakes system. And you live on the banks of it. So I think you're going to be yeah, I remember that press conference. He walked down, he goes, folks, all you people running out buying up water and everything, we live on the shores of Lake Michigan. It's the second largest freshwater lake in the world. We're going to be all right. And then he walks off.
He's gone. He's
Mic drop.
You might dig on Daley, but Mayor Richard Daley, I was a big fan. I have a lot of fond memories of how he ran
So
Chicago.
by the way.
But I was also
a child.
Young. Yeah.
By the way, I'm saying this publicly on the radio, and we can't not deviate from this. Before the 18-month celebration is up, we will be going to Disney World. Just so you know.
What 18 months? Oh,
it's an 18-month birthday celebration. Sometime in the next 18 months, we will be going to Disney World. Hopefully, if we win the Fall Carnival raffle from
Oh, Blessed Trinity.
And, you know, the prizes are a Toyota Camry, $5,000 in cash, a week stay at a very good resort somewhere. I want to win the 2 tickets to Disney.
I can see the conversation with you and Father Pat right now.
Father Pat, look here.
Look,
if I win the $5,000, I'll give it back to the church if I get the Disney tickets. Make it happen. Father Pat will be like, done. It's done. It's done. Done. Yeah. Won't even be close. Father Pat, I won the $5,000. Congratulations, my son. How much are you giving back to the church? All of it if you give me the Disney tickets. Done. 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 Father Pat would make that deal in a second.
Father Pat can call Disney and get free tickets right now. Let's be honest.
Dan Martone needs to call and get free tickets from Disney right now. Let's be honest. You know who really I should go to Disney with? I should take my wife, of course. But you know who would be a good trip? We should video it and film it. Joe Martone and I at Disney, because nobody knows. The two of us, they're probably employees at Disney, don't know as much about Disney as Joe and I do. So.
Well, if you and Joe go together, I'm going to stay at home.
Yeah, I'm sure. Coming up next, it's What's the Line with Kevin Stone. Hey, I want to thank all my callers, all my listeners, and all my guests this week. Without you, this show is not possible. We'll be back Monday, 8 a.m. sharp, right here on Ocala Talks, 1370 a.m., 96.3 FM. The Source.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
Congress on Thursday avoided a government shutdown by voting to continue funding the government through December 3rd.
On this vote, the yeas are 65, the nays are 35. The 60-vote threshold having been achieved, the bill is passed.
The House approved the measure earlier in the day with a 254-175 vote. Democrat House Speaker Nancy Pelosi from California has delayed a vote on the bipartisan infrastructure bill. Lawmakers sent things south when Pelosi tied the bill to the extremely expensive $3.5 trillion partisan spending package. We now know why boxing star Manny Pacquiao retired from boxing. He's advancing into a ruthless industry, politics. Manny has filed his certificate of candidacy for the Philippine presidency Friday. As registration opened for candidates seeking to lead, the elections are on May 9th, 2022. USA Radio News.
In the last 12 months, the Federal Reserve has added over $4 trillion to their balance sheet. It's led to an explosion in financial assets. Stocks, bonds, commodities, cryptocurrencies, housing prices have all exploded higher. But the Federal Reserve can't keep this going forever. This is unsustainable. It's why you need Advantage Gold. We teach people how to own physical gold and silver the right way. Call 800-900-8000. We don't pay celebrities millions of dollars. We pass that value on to you. It's why we're number one. Call 800-900-8000 now. Speak with one of our experts and learn how. We'll send you a free gold kit and a copy of my national best-selling book, The Great Devaluation. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. Get the best information, the best process, the best service, the best value. Call 800-900-8000 now.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Tune in to Coasting into Retirement with Gary Marriage of Nature Coast Financial Advisors, Sunday mornings at 8 to get answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Listen Sunday mornings at 8 to Coasting into Retirement with Gary Marriage of Nature Coast Financial Advisors.
Our firm offers insurance services.
Luby Bat Conservancy is excited to welcome everyone back to our 17th annual Florida Bat Festival held Saturday, October 23rd, 10 to 5. Bat Fest is a local family-friendly event held at Luby, where guests can enjoy games and activities in the kids zone, local artisans, food trucks, live music, craft beer from local breweries, and of course, the world's largest bats. Highlights include baby bats born this year and the grand opening of the new Education Center. For more information, visit the Luby Facebook page or www.luby.org/Batfest.
It's officially fall, and that means there's a whole long list of new specials this week at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens in Ocala. You want a sample? Well, here's an idea that's savings waiting for you at Bob Wines. A fabulous selection of crepe myrtles, regularly $9.99 to as much as $399. They're all 50% off. Now, Bob has a huge selection of those gorgeous fall garden mums, many colors. You can get 10 smaller ones for just $29.99. And, of course, don't forget the fruit sale, a long list of your favorites, all 50% off. And while you're there, stock up on your favorite fall veggies. Too many to name here. Just remember, the Jumbo 4-pack is still just $4.99. Now check the ad for all the specials, then hurry on out to Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens, Southeast 38th Street in Ocala. Daily till 4, Saturdays till 3. They're in the same blooming place since 1952.
Fine Arts of Ocala's 54th Art Festival is back. Mark your calendar for October 23rd to 24th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. 151 artists from around the country will compete for $27,000 in awards. Enjoy live music on 2 stages, chairs for relaxing, food trucks, children's activities presented by the Appleton Museum, and so much more. And it's all free. Admission, parking, children's art projects, and live entertainment. Fine Arts for Ocala, and a fun outing for the entire family. Don't miss out. Again, that's October 23rd to 24th from 10 to 5 each day. Presenting sponsor, Palm Chevrolet.
Each morning, we wake up thankful to live in a free nation with liberty and justice for all. But sometimes those liberties can be put in jeopardy, and you may have questions about what to do or who to call. Let Doc Blanchard of Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland help you find the answers. Attorneys at law since 1974 and located in downtown Ocala. If you have legal issues, don't go it alone. Call 352-732-7218. Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland, helping protect your liberties every day.
Get your notepads out. Get your recorders out. Whatever it takes to make sure you don't miss the sage advice from the handicapper extraordinaire, Kevin Stone, on What's the Line? And here is your handicapping guru, Kevin Stone. That's right. It's What's the Line with Kevin Stone. Kevin Stone in studio. Kevin, good morning.
Morning, Tom. How you doing today?
I'm better than I was yesterday and probably better than I deserve.
There you go. Hey, and by the way, I thought your favorite ride at Disney was It's a Small World after all.
No, that's just the people that I resemble the most. People I resemble the most. So, Kevin, you're here every Friday to talk college and pro football, to give people some advice on if they want to, for entertainment purposes only, want to look at the gambling aspect of football. You're here to give them some advice on games. Last week you went 3-3.
3-3. Had a couple of tough ones. An extra point, a missed extra point, literally. Kept
Buffalo Bills.
No, that was the Chargers and the Chiefs.
Chargers
and Chiefs got needed 55. They got 30 to 24. Missed the
54.
Extra point.
Missed the extra point. 54 and a half was the over.
Yeah. Literally, you talk about
at half line. I'm telling you, Vegas is good.
I actually ended up winning it on my side, but
Vegas is good with the half line. With
for
the half
show's purposes, we ended up losing it.
Vegas is very good with the half lines. So on the year, then that makes you 5-6. On the 5-7, excuse me. On the year, you went 2-4 and then 3-3. So
right, yes, sir. A little bit
5-7.
I'm gonna clean it
but
up
you're
this
pulling
week.
back up towards 500.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Little difficult this week.
Yeah.
Some games that just were just too hard to really get a grasp on. I'll tell you a prime example: Alabama, Ole Miss.
Exactly.
When it opened, if we'd have done the show on the day it opened, we may be talking about that game.
That's right.
But because it's Friday before the game, the lines have changed. A lot of money come in on Alabama. Alabama now only a 2-touchdown favorite, 2 touchdowns plus a half-point favorite. And that's something I think Alabama can handle.
Yes.
18.5 points.
And I think it's actually the opposite because it started off at 18. I think the money's coming in Ole Miss.
Oh, that's right. It dropped. That's right. It comes in Ole Miss.
That way.
Money came in Ole Miss, so it dropped down. That's right. I've said that back.
Yes, sir. But I think, like you, I'm scared to touch that at 14.5.
14.5.
Alabama.
Not enough.
In Tuscaloosa.
Also, you stayed away from the Gator-Kentucky game.
Yes, sir.
Kentucky, in the last 5-6 years, at Kentucky, plays Florida tough.
That's right.
They play Florida tough. The Stoops family is pretty good with their defense and everything.
But I don't think Florida's lost there since 80.
Oh, no.
Something like that.
Florida lost to Kentucky recently.
But that was at home.
It was at Florida. But
yeah. But
they hadn't lost in
Kentucky,
Lexington
I want to say
in a while.
Since 1980
but
or 83.
But the 8-point spread,
that's
a little too much to touch.
Weird, yeah.
Weird number. If it had been 4 or 5, I'm taking
I would
Florida
have been
all day.
all day,
Right.
yeah. But Kentucky plays them tough at home.
8 point, and Kentucky's defense is good.
Yeah.
Now,
I haven't seen enough of Kentucky this year to be honest.
But their defense is always going to be good because
Mark
Stoops is in charge.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay?
He's got them playing good, 4-0.
Right.
Mean, that's good ball. So.
And you never know what can happen with that crowd because whether you believe it or not, they pack that stadium out.
Do. And in Kentucky, I bet they're getting a little bit prepared.
There'll be a little bit of bourbon flowing.
A little bourbon on that.
A little bourbon flowing.
A little 6 o'clock night game.
Look, there won't be many mint juleps. Trust me on that. I tell you, trust me on that. Yeah, it's a weird kickoff though. 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. Yeah.
Which is 5 o'clock Kentucky time.
Yep.
It's a strange kickoff. I know they do it for TV purposes and what channel it's going to be on and everything.
Right.
And this is on ESPN at 6 p.m. Florida, Kentucky. So you stayed away from that as well.
Stayed away from
because it's just one of those games that you're trying to give good advice. And that's just really hard.
Tough one.
Really hard.
I'm trying to pick winners, man.
Matter of fact, if you want some advice and you have a game that we didn't pick, you can call in at 622-9622
yes, sir.
To discuss your game as well. Let's get into it, though, real quick. Let's start with the colleges. Cincinnati at the Catholics. Yes. The line is Cincinnati is a 1.5-point favorite at Notre Dame. The over-under is 50.5. The fact that Cincinnati is a favorite at Notre Dame surprises me.
Amazing. Yeah, we've come a long way in college football, with the parity and stuff like that. I bet in the mid-'80s you'd have never, ever thought that would ever happen. But, Tom, I feel like on this one it's going to be high-scoring, possible shootout, tons of offense.
I see where you're going with this.
Notre Dame's put up 41, 27, 32, and 41 this season so far. I don't expect those numbers to change all too much. Cincinnati's defense is a little suspect. Cincinnati's offense, now that's a different story. They're putting up 38, 32, 49 with a number like 50.5.
That means both teams break 25.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
One team breaks 30, the other one breaks 20.
Notre Dame just went into where was it? Wisconsin last week.
Right.
Hung 41 up.
Hung 41 on Wisconsin.
They might put 50 on the board themselves against, but I definitely see it easily at mid-30s to mid-20s type,
So you're taking the over 50.5.
Yes, sir. Over on 50.5 on that one.
The Cincinnati line, if I think Notre Dame wins this football game.
Me too. I would like the money line.
I really think Notre Dame wins this football game.
Me too. Yeah.
Now we go out west to the less than stellar conference. We'll just call it that. Joe Williams called it something else from Mile High Sports, but I won't say what Joe Williams called it. He called it the conference that I refer to my sister as.
Okay.
My sister's nickname is Sissy, and I love my sissy. So Oregon and Stanford. The line is Oregon -8. The over/under is 57.5. Oregon's playing good football, but they're going into Stanford. Wait, but this isn't the Stanford Cardinal we've seen in recent years.
No, it's not. Oregon's covered a spread the last couple times these two teams have met up. They're a very nice team on the road.
Yes.
Out of their last 9 Pac-12 games or Sissy Conference games, they're 6-3 against the spread in those 9.
It's my favorite. It's my sister's favorite conference. That's why we call it that.
Okay.
That's why we call it that.
And then also this year, let's not forget, a few weeks ago they went into Ohio State and beat them by more than a touchdown, or by a touchdown, 35-28.
Yeah.
So Oregon's nice. Stanford.
You go into shoe and win, you've done something.
Yeah, yes, sir. Stanford, they're okay. They got a decent win against USC, but I think that was before USC. They fired their coach already this year. So I mean, I wasn't all that impressed by their Vanderbilt win, and UCLA put it on them. Last week. So. That was at Stanford. So
you're taking the over, the under, the money line?
Oregon minus the 8.
Oregon minus a touchdown, extra point, and another point.
That's right. 2-point conversion.
2-point conversion.
We'll push. But I think that game, double digits.
So you're taking Oregon over Stanford. You think Oregon actually wins the game in double digits?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm not scared of Stanford. I like what Oregon's got
so,
going on this
you
year.
Could tease up the points and get better odds.
Yes.
Instead of teasing down, you can tease up.
Tease it up, yeah.
Take Oregon plus.
Maybe 14,
take Oregon.
13
take Oregon minus 10.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah,
So-
that's where I feel like it's going to be.
Now you only did it. Everything else is pro.
All
games.
pro ball, man. I like the pro games this week.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's start with the Titans at the worst football team in the NFL, the New York Jets, Jets.
All I put on it, Tom, this just in, the Jets are pretty god-awful.
Yes.
I'm taking a look at the rest of their schedule, as a matter of fact.
They are going 0-16.
0-17, by the way.
0-17, that's
sir.
right.
But
they're going 0-17.
They do play Jacksonville. Maybe
Jacksonville will
Houston.
beat them.
Yeah, I agree. After seeing Jacksonville
That Jag team last
that's
night,
a tough team.
They'll beat the Jets.
I agree. Yep. So, but I was struggling to find a win on there. Hard pressed to find a win on
There's
that
not
schedule.
one. Tennessee's a 6.5 point favorite. The over/under is 44.5.
Yeah, and I'm going to go with the Titans, 6.5. I mean, it less than a touchdown, and Derrick Henry comes in there. They've got wins against Minnesota, who's pretty decent.
Right, and they can slow the game down with Derrick Henry.
That's right.
So they're going to limit the possessions. So 6.5 is a touchdown. An extra point.
Yeah, even though it's at New York, I think that's where you're getting. If that game was in Tennessee, that'd be easily a 10, 11 point, maybe 12 point spread.
Well, you add 3 points. If you add just the 3 for the home,
right.
it's 9.5.
It's 9.5. Yeah. So
right.
But
I understand you're going with the 6.5 if it was me, and it's not. This is your show, but if it was me, taking the under all day.
Under, and just I might. Well,
I think Tennessee wins the game like 28-3.
That's where I'll probably do a teaser.
Yeah.
Tease that Tennessee down to a pick 'em, and then get the under.
Right.
Even tease
A little
that
higher,
up.
right.
Exactly. So I
44.5.
teasers.
44.5.
Yeah.
Seems like way too many points.
They don't even touch that. They don't
way
touch
too many
that.
points.
And if you can get that up to about 50,
you can forget about it. Cardinals, the Arizona Cardinals, Kyler Murray going into the Los Angeles Rams, Matthew Stafford. Boy, what the difference just a quarterback makes. Because this is the same
amazing.
team in L.A.
Yeah.
Minus Jared Goff, add Matthew Stafford.
That's right.
This Rams team looks almost unbeatable.
Yeah, I'm going to say 3 words. Stafford to Cup.
Yeah, Cooper. Look,
that
I drafted Cooper in my
Yes.
fantasy league and
Yes.
got ridiculed. People goes, why would you draft Cooper Cup? Stud.
Yeah.
Because Matthew Stafford will get the ball to his best receivers.
You're reaping the
Cooper
rewards.
Cup's it. Yeah.
Yeah, for that. You want to go ahead and do the line on the over-under?
The line is the Rams -4. The over-under is the best football number ever. Double
55.
nickels, 55.
There you go. Derrick Brooks, huh?
Yeah, that's what Scott Brantley.
See, I thought you were a 44.
No, I was 55.
Okay. All right.
55, pal.
I'm going to go with the over.
Take
These
it over
two teams,
55.
Over 55. Both these teams undefeated.
Premier quarterbacks.
3-0. Yes, sir. Cards have a couple of nice wins. They beat the Vikings this year. They beat Tennessee, as a matter of fact. Rams, of course, knocked off those Tom Brady Buccaneers last week.
Easily.
I mean, they did it pretty
Easily.
convincingly. Yes, sir. That wasn't even as close as a score.
No.
To tell you the truth.
Well, that's because that Rams defense. We talk about Matthew Stafford, Cooper Cup.
But
they may have the best defense, or one of the 2 or 3 best defenses in the NFL.
Oh yeah, from the front 7 and the
They
bottom.
may
They
have
don't have to blitz.
They may have the best pass rusher in Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald is the best
on the face of the earth.
Yes, sir. Yep. Yeah,
he may be the best. He may be the best pass rusher, best up the field pressure of any player in the NFL.
I agree. There's no stopping him when he wants to. He does what he wants on that field. But they're tough. Cardinals scored 38, 34, 31 this season. Rams have put up 34, 27, 34. I love the over 55. I think this thing.
You know what?
Kyler and
as a devil's advocate.
Okay.
Tampa Bay. Champa Bay.
Right.
Whatever you want to call them. What they hang 17?
I thought they got 24 last week.
Was it 24? I thought it was 7.
They did, but I think they put up a one late. I thought it was 34, 24.
Well, I'll go back and look, but I thought it was something that was real close to 55 as the total.
Right. They scored 58 in the game. That's right, because I did have the over in that. So 34-24 was the game because it was 58, and they ended up getting that.
Yeah, it was 34-24,
yeah. I did hit the over on mine. I can't remember. I think was that one of my. Yeah, that was one of mine from last week.
Right.
Yeah, because I didn't want the spread, but I did have
55 is a lot of points when you talk about that Rams defense.
It is. Yeah, but the offenses. I mean, are you gonna take the under in that game and then just pray?
I'm not touching. I'm staying away from it.
I mean that. I think 60.
If I was going to bet this game,
you take the line.
I'd take a flyer and take the Cardinals on the money line.
Not bad. You probably make probably about plus 150, 160.
It's plus 175.
175. Okay.
Yeah. I would probably take a $50 flyer and take the
and then hope. Yeah.
Just watch the game.
2 undefeated teams. Yes.
200. You have no idea where it could go, but I just
LA
know,
in that stadium. That's going to be.
I just know that 55 is a lot of points.
It is.
But both of those offenses can create that. But remember, offenses win games.
Defenses win championships.
Just saying.
Yes, sir.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Then speaking of defense, a team that used to have a stellar defense, used to have pretty good offense, now they just got an old guy named Ben Roethlisberger playing quarterback. Yeah. They're a shell of the team they used to be. Going into Green Bay, the Pittsburgh Steelers against the Green Bay Packers. By the way, Green Bay Packers, this could be the last time the Packers see Aaron Rodgers play against the Steelers. Because next year there's talk Aaron Rodgers may be on the Steelers.
Maybe a Steeler himself. Yeah.
The Packers, 6.5-point favorites. The over-under, 45.5.
I'm going to ride with the Packers. I'm going to lay that 6.5.
Laying the 6.5.
6.5.
The Steelers are terrible.
Got hammered by the Bengals last week. And the fact the Bengals were kind of feeling that last night game. I think that first half, that was a complete hangover. They were feeling themselves.
Sophomore Joe Burrow beat the brakes off of the Pittsburgh Steelers last week.
Yeah, but last night they go down 14-0 first half against the Jags.
I'm a firm believer that had a lot to do with the hangover from the Pittsburgh.
3-1 Bengals. They've never being a division tied for the division lead. That's something different for them. But
a rehash
going back to the Steelers.
By the way, last night's game, rehash of a national championship game.
That's right.
Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, that was a great game. That was great. Yeah, you got Jamar Chase on there. It was fun. But
the Steelers, Packers. So you're taking the Packers at minus 6.5
at home in Green Bay. Seems like Rodgers has got his stuff together the last couple weeks. He threw two picks week 1 versus the Saints. He hadn't thrown one since.
Well, and he started a band too.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, he's got one of those soft rock bands now. Or at least that's when you watch the commercials on TV. That's what he's doing.
Gotcha.
Because he realized the Rodgers rate was given to everybody.
Yeah.
So he quit football and just started the soft rock
band.
That's
right. I did see that. Well, he's playing very angry these days.
He's playing very angry.
It was a nice win they pulled out last week. San Fran's a great team. In fact, that whole NFC West is loaded.
The over-under, though, at 45.5. You didn't give that a look?
I'd have probably went under on that.
Because the Steelers are inept. This is the worst. This is the worst team Mike Tomlin's ever coached.
Okay.
It's not good.
Yeah, and they've had
Ben Roethlisberger's a year too long in the tooth.
Yeah.
He should have him and Drew Brees probably should have took their swan songs together.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean Big Ben made his career on being 6'5", 250 pounds, and could pull out hand tackles and arm tackles. He's not pulling out of those this year.
No, he's not.
They're taking Ben to the ground.
That's right.
And if Ben can't get out of those kind of tackles, Pittsburgh can't win.
No, they're not good. They're banged up. The wide receiver. Have you seen their wide receiver position? Juju Smith-Schuster's got a rib injury.
Yeah.
They got Deontay Johnson banged up knee. Both of them have been very limited in practice.
And attrition is part of the game.
That's right.
But when you have your receiving core like that, you're 1 and 2 receiver down. That's tough.
Limited or even not practicing at all.
Tough.
So it's
tough to get timing.
I love Green Bay. A touchdown seems very reasonable at home. Steelers struggling. That's
well.
My
If this was
on
according to this, if this was in Pittsburgh, they'd be a 3.5 point favorite.
Yeah.
The Packers would be a 3.5 point favorite.
Yeah. So I don't get it. Honestly, to me, that seems a little low, but maybe, that's why it's NFL.
This is a game that I would do something not conventional if it was me.
Yeah.
I would do something unconventional. The Packers are plus 160.
Right.
On the money line.
Okay. Well, minus
160.
Yeah, minus 160.
Packers are minus 160 on the money line. I'd take the Packers on the money line.
Just win the game outright.
Win the game outright. not worry about the points.
That's right.
I think the Packers are going to win the game, and if I take the points out of it, I bet 160 to win 100.
Yeah.
To me, and there's never a lock, but to me, this is as close to a lock in the NFL. The Packers win this football game.
Packers win the football game,
and
they probably stay under, so that you might want to take a look at a teaser.
So I don't feel
tease that down.
I don't feel bad about laying 160 to only win 100.
Yeah. Right.
Because I think this is as close to a guaranteed win as you can get in the NFL.
And if you feel strongly about that under, tease them and maybe get about even.
We got one more. We got one more pick.
Yes,
got
sir.
one more pick. If you want to get in a team we might not have mentioned, 622-9622 is the number to call to speak with Kevin Stone on What's the Line. 622-9622 is the number to call. The last game, and you knew you had to put this in.
Had to have
it is the Florida contingent.
Yes.
The Tampa Bay or the Champa Bay or the Tampa Bay, or whichever name you want to call them, Bucks coming off a hard luck loss to the Los Angeles Rams, where they really got bum rushed.
Right.
The score 34-24 was not indicative of how much the Rams controlled that football game.
That's exactly right. They got exposed, especially on that defensive secondary.
Tom Brady.
What Ram did.
Tom Brady returning
to the Patriots.
To Gillette Stadium as the first time as he returns as a non-New England Patriot. This first time he walks in as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer.
That's right.
Okay, first off, when he walks out of that tunnel, when he comes out of that tunnel, the only thing I can reckon to you what this pop is going to be, the cheer, how loud the cheer will be. And people ridicule me all the time for my love of this entertainment.
Yeah.
But you've not heard a pop till you've heard Dwayne Rock Johnson walk out at a WrestleMania. You hadn't heard out of control till you've heard The Rock walk out at WrestleMania. Especially when he walks out unannounced.
Okay.
And catches everybody by surprise. That's the kind of volume you're going to hear at Gillette Stadium when Tom Brady comes out of the tunnel.
Yeah.
There's not going to be any boos. There's not going to be anybody upset that Tom's no longer with New England on Sunday.
Right.
Sunday night.
Yep.
There's going to be cheers upon cheers upon cheers because a lot of people, after he went to Tampa Bay and won the Super Bowl, I know friends of mine that are from Worcester, Mass, that I played football with in college, that I talk to on a regular basis. They're brothers. I talked to a lot of friends of mine from Massachusetts. All of them, after Tampa Bay won that Super Bowl, goes, it was Brady. It wasn't Belichick so much. And by the way, it was both of them. Okay?
It is both of them.
It was a conglomeration of both of them, plus great offensive coordinators through the years, good defenses. It was a team effort. But towards the end of it, the media made it Belichick versus Brady.
You always get that.
And a lot of New England fans say, all we know is we had Cam Newton, and we didn't win. Right. We didn't make the playoffs. He didn't make the playoffs.
No.
Tom Brady went to Tampa Bay. They won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people, there are going to be cheers. There will not be jeers and boos when he walks back in.
I would agree with that, yeah. I mean, just for what he's done for them as a franchise.
Tampa Bay, a 7-point favorite in this game in Gillette Stadium. The over-under 49.
All right. So so you're telling me that Tom Brady gets to basically go back to his home away from home in Foxborough.
By the way, a hometown crowd.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be a lot of people cheering for Tampa Bay.
Exactly. Play a coach that he seems like he's got a personal vendetta against. I mean, him and his camp will not let it go.
No.
And the Patriots are not like that. And the spread's a touchdown. I'm taking the Brady and that very, very good, complete team. Adding Richard Sherman this week. I don't know if he's going to be out
because they have issues in the secondary, but they're getting 3 of their starters back. And Richard Sherman signed this week.
They need Murphy Bunting pretty bad. I mean, that was a big loss in week 1.
But Tampa Bay laying the 7. You're taking the 7 points.
I'm going to lay. Yeah, I'm going to lay.
You're laying the 7.
Yeah, I'm going to take Bucks minus the 7. I think they go into. I think Tom, especially with the loss last week.
He's got something to prove.
He's going to be possessed.
Chip on his shoulder about losing. Chip on his shoulder about Belichick going back in. And by the way, Brady has been silent all week until yesterday.
Yeah. I mean,
and he put out a tweet yesterday. He goes, look, I know that I got a lot of friends over there. Right. I know the crowd's going to be behind me. I know there's going to be a lot for this first time coming back.
Yep.
I'm just there to kick their butt.
That's what he wants. That's what he wants to do. But
and
I believe he's going to do it.
But that's the chip on his shoulder about New England, the chip on his shoulder about losing last week, the chip on his shoulder about being a sixth-round draft pick.
Yeah,
that's how he motivates himself. And this is perfect for Tom Brady. Coming off a loss. And going back home to stick it to Belichick.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's no way Tampa Bay is not winning this football game.
And blowing them out.
And trying to blow them out.
That's what they're going to be their mission.
He's going to try to do what Coach Spurrier did to Georgia the year that Florida went to Sanford Stadium. True story about this. Spurrier hangs 50 on Georgia in Sanford Stadium. Called his head coach, who was his head coach in Florida at the time because Georgia had beat them by putting 50 on him. Called his head coach as soon as the game was over. Said, Coach, I got him back for that 50 they put on us in the 60s.
That's right.
So that's the kind of grudge Brady
I want to say two of the three biggest losses ever in the SEC, biggest blowouts. 2 of the 3 are Georgia over Florida.
And Spurrier remembered that one in the 60s.
Yeah, the 60s.
And called his head coach and said, Coach, I got him back for you for them hanging 50 on us. But that's what I think Brady's going to do.
Yeah, he will.
Kevin, so you real quick, you got the Cardinal-Rams game. You got the you're taking the over in that.
Over in that, yes.
You the Steelers-Packers, you're taking the Packers at -6.5.
Right.
Bucks and the Patriots, you're taking the Bucks at -7.5. Cincinnati at -7. Cincinnati at Notre Dame, you're taking the
over
in that at 50.5. Oregon and Stanford, you're laying the 8 points for Oregon.
Right.
And the Titans and the Jets, you're laying the 6.5 for the Titans.
That. You got it. Yes,
Thanks,
sir.
Kevin. Talk to you next week.
All right. Thank you. Have a great weekend, guys.
That has been What's the Line?
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
A federal judge on Friday will consider whether Texas can leave in place the heartbeat abortion law, in place in September, banning most abortions after 6 weeks when the baby's heartbeat is detected. A lawsuit filed by the Biden administration seeks to strike down Senate Bill 8, which narrowly passed muster with